learning happens at so many levels. I'm still learning by learning new information and facts about life and the world. But to be frank, I've not been interested in that level of learning for quite a while, because the deepest and the most influential level of learning that happens in the human body-mind social system is adaptation. It's very deep adaptation, the human system's ability to adapt to any new unknown situation. That's the crown jewel of our capacities as a species.
Welcome to Learning Insider. My name is Johanna, and today we have a super interesting guest, Ville Ojanen, who is a psychologist. Welcome here, Ville.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Would you like to tell a little about your background and what is your story? You have a super interesting path to this date.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's many ways to tell a story always. So I pick one angle of my past and what I've been doing, maybe in terms of my education background and so to connect it to learning, the theme we have today. So I started as a theoretical philosopher, and I was really into philosophy of mind. That's something that's been always of interest for me.
Super fascinating topic.
Yeah. Already as a kind of a youngster before my university studies. So I went in and dived into philosophy of mind. Did it a lot, and then I ended up I studied in University of Helsinki, and then I ended up in University of Turku to do actually cognitive neuroscience. I ended up in a team or a research group that was into studying the neural correlates of consciousness with EEG. And at that point, I was still a philosopher, but I got into empirical neuroscience, cognitive neuroscience there.
And that's super interesting that you got to combine the philosophical background with the very, very practical and empirical side of the story.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I was attaching EEG electrodes watching and analyzing the data.
That's super cool.
Yeah, and that particular group and the lab was attached to a Department of Psychology in University of Turku. So then I decided to become a psychologist, and I started studying psychology, and at the same time I did research, cognitive neuroscience research in the lab. And then I graduated. I'm a psychologist. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, but I pursued my academic career in Helsinki University of Technology. I ended up doing empirical cognitive neuroscience, functional MRI and magnetoencephalography studies, and also some EEG studies.
So also the technical side or technological side.
Yeah.
Combined to all these.
I was a recovering philosopher and a newborn psychologist in technical university.
That's amazing. That's a super interesting combination.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to speak with a fellow philosopher.
Yeah, it is. So I was in this very technical and it was a laboratory of computational engineering where I was doing the cognitive neuroscience studies. And then I got my PhD. I did studies on audiovisual perception, so kind of the seen and heard speech. How do the visual and auditory information integrate in the human brain? When does it happen and where does it happen?
Super interesting.
Yeah, and that kind of led me into the social phenomena, kind of the shared aspect of human mind and the human consciousness. So that was the opening for me to understand that actually what we are about is very much about what we share, or on the perceptual level. So what do we see and what do we hear is very much influenced by other people, and
so that's a very constructivist
very
way of
very
observing things.
constructivist, but also kind of it's easy to understand that so certain social constructions are constructed together.
Yeah.
But what was really an eye-opener for me was that at the very core perceptual level, even at the level of your brain stem, the other person influences your cognitive processes. This is what happens in audiovisual speech perception. When I'm listening to you speaking, your lips, what you are doing with your face when you are speaking, those gestures, those visual gestures, they influence the way I process the auditory input in my brain.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's super fascinating.
Yeah. So we are totally social beings, and that kind of led me into that area. And of course, practicing psychology is very much about how do we influence each other, and how do we become what we are during our childhood and along our life.
So it's not just about the knowledge we have or the information we receive, but also about how we connect and interact with other people, and what are the relationships we build. Yeah,
the culture and norms and everything like that. So then I had two possibilities after my PhD to continue to postdoc, to kind of pursue my academic career, or then do something completely different.
Yeah.
And of course I chose to do something completely different. So I became an entrepreneur, and I also became a practicing psychologist. So I've been practicing psychology since then. Amazing. Since 2005, and also being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so that kind of launched another part of my background. So how I became eventually the founder of Academy of Brain, and how we've been developing this methodology of social learning, collaborative learning, of soft skills.
Yeah.
Which is in a way kind of all. It's the result of everything I've been doing.
Yeah. And given that you're such a sponge, you take very different topics and you go very deeply in super different areas of science and technology and psychology. What is the way you learn? How do you develop your skills? Because you must be an amazing learner to be able to grasp all of that.
Yeah, I think I'm really curious person. Curiosity is the driver, and then I'm kind of open-minded, and my brain and my mind is very associates kind of links things very effectively together. So that's kind of my individual ability. And of course, learning happens at so many levels. I had this. I'm still learning by learning new information and facts about life and the world. But to be frank, I've not been interested in that level of learning for quite a while, because kind of the deepest and the most influential level of learning that happens in the human body-mind social system is adaptation. It's very deep adaptation, the human system's ability to adapt to any new unknown situation. That's the crown jewel of our capacities as a species. So you can take a bunch of people and throw them in a new situation, and they figure it out, and they adapt, and they're not only kind of surviving but they also
can also thrive.
Thrive, and flourish, to kind of find very new ways of doing things together.
And I love this perspective because it's a very positive way of looking at human life and how we can, as a species, to flourish here.
Yeah, we are truly adaptive organisms, and the most kind of flexible and adaptive level of that is of course the social level, the shared, the collective level, and that has the most power and influence also.
Yeah.
Of course, individual capabilities are important. I'm not saying that they are not, but the most fantastic and great things that we can achieve are done together.
Yeah. Amazing. And combining all these different views, because you have the different approaches to things, how would you define learning? What is learning?
Yeah, as a neuroscientist, it's of course the plasticity changes in the brain. That's kind of reductionist way of looking at it. So that eventually something has to change in the system. And there are so many levels of changes. And of course, as a practicing psychologist, I've also witnessed kind of very, very deep systemic changes in the human body mind when people grow. And growing as a person, as an individual, is always about adapting to your life circumstances. The human system has this. It's a construction that always has some shape. It always takes some shape, and the shape is more or less aligned with the environment. And changing this shape is difficult because in order for us to survive, we need to take a shape and then keep it in order to thrive and survive. But then something changes. The world around us changes, or something inside us changes. So we need to be able to change the shape that we have so that it again better aligns with our lives.
So it's kind of when the circumstances change, we find new ways to thrive in that changed environment or under the new circumstances.
And those processes are really interesting. The kind of the transformational nature and capacity of the human system to shift position, kind of the shape that we have. And they are very often very deep processes. And as a psychologist, I've many times witnessed what it requires, how does it look like. A lot of shaking, for example, or something
growing
kind
pains.
of something kind of physical comes out of the human body, and of course a lot of emotions.
Of course.
But thinking as well, kind of analyzing or kind of verbalizing the situation. But if we think of kind of the relative importance of these different levels of how the human system kind of adapts, learns, changes, and the body, the emotions, the heart, and the brain, the thinking. Kind of the most difficult and the biggest things happen in our bodies. That's the level where things get stuck. That's the level where we are triggered. If you think about your idiosyncratic, early on in your lifetime, learned behavioral kind of reflexes, especially when you are interacting with other people. They are very embodied. You
really feel them.
And they come somewhere from your autonomous nervous system, and you kind of automatically react in a certain way. And if you want to kind of recode or remap those systems, you need to have ways and access to your body, to these deep processes.
So how do you recode it? How can you help people to learn? It's painful sometimes, and it can be very intense or challenging. So how can it be helped?
In many ways. And of course it's important to notice that when we are talking about workplace learning, it's not about therapy. It's not about kind of recoding and decoding your body or your emotions. But on the other hand, it is.
Yeah.
Especially for leaders. I've been
Absolutely.
doing a lot of executive coaching, and the bottleneck for leaders for personal growth and ability to kind of come out with the best things that they have for the community that they are leading. It's very often about really deep.
Working on yourself, yeah.
Yeah. And that happens in executive coaching and maybe sometimes in therapy. But the second level, emotions, that's also very impactful. And emotions are something that can already be worked with in work settings. When we open up ourselves, our systems, to feel our own emotions and become empathic towards other people and kind of tune into the level of emotions, that's already very deep learning and kind of recoding through the social interaction of your own system. And this is very important aspect of adult learning and human learning when we go to the deeper levels and when we are talking about soft skills. We need to go into processes that not only take place in your brain.
Yeah.
It's not enough to listen to a 3-minute video about differences between people. You might get the understanding, but it doesn't change the way you react to different people.
So what is the thing that changes? How do you change your reactions?
Yeah, it's a continuous kind of online process of reflecting together what is happening in our interaction. Kind of achieving a type of a meta level awareness of what is going on. And there are many things going on. There are the thoughts, what happens in our brains, the thinking, it's important. Then there are the emotions, what is happening in our hearts, and then there is the body, what is kind of triggered, what is here that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
What is going on between people that has a lot of impact on our behavior and our thinking and our emotions, but we don't have access to. It's happening on the level of our autonomous nervous system reactions. So reflection is a human practice that we people do as collective hypersocial animals. We engage in this practice of reflection, which is practicing together the awareness of our interaction, awareness of what's going on, and learning the skills for ourselves to become aware. What's happening in me? How is my body? How are my emotions? How is my brain working here? And learning the skills of kind of tuning my system accordingly.
It's kind of learning to operate my own operation system. Yeah.
Yes, becoming aware of your system and operating your system, and doing it in situ, in real life dynamic interaction system.
When you also have a lot of other things going on in your head.
And doing this with other people.
Yeah.
And with people who have very different levels of skills of doing this.
Yeah.
Because it's a well-known fact that for the adult population, the average reflective skills are pretty low, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Most adults are not very reflective and not very aware of what's going on, and actually going very much like this.
Yeah.
Not having very well evolved or developed self-reflective skills or soft skills.
So what are the consequences from this? Or what is the role of reflection in learning? How do these things relate together?
Yeah, it's the driver of adaptive abilities.
Yeah.
the ability to adapt at the individual and systemic collective level is driven by reflection.
Yeah.
That's how human systems adapt. That's the
Yeah.
kind of the that's the method.
And that's super fascinating because it's so easy for us to focus on what is going around and what is the situation and how to operate with all these things.
The processes and the facts.
The processes and the facts and
numbers
spreadsheets and everything.
Yeah.
Well, when you should really be thinking about, okay, how am I reacting here?
Yeah.
What are the things I'm doing and what is the impact of those things around me?
Yeah, and it's difficult also because it's not either or.
Yeah,
it's both
absolutely.
and.
Both.
It's very difficult to be using your brain effectively, thinking, being aware of your emotions, your heart, and your body.
Yeah.
And doing this at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's actually in the core of soft skills. This is for me what soft skills means. It's essentially this ability.
But probably because we're so adaptive, it's sufficient to get it approximately right. Right.
Sorry, what?
It's sufficient to get it approximately right, so you don't have to be perfect in this.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a learning path.
Yeah.
It's a lifelong learning path.
Lifelong journey.
Yeah. But your question was what happens if we don't reflect?
Yeah.
And what do we get when we reflect? So I maybe want to kind of rephrase or emphasize the kind of the outcome and the importance of the outcome, because the outcome is adaptation. And if you think about what humans do, what everything that is alive on planet Earth is trying to do, everything is trying to adapt.
Yeah.
And not only adapt but thrive and flourish. And humans, we have so many levels of abilities and capabilities that help us adapt. And during those attempts of adapting, we have, for example, created 4 different industrial revolutions.
Yeah.
And they can all be seen as adaptations of the human species to life on planet.
So the adaptation isn't just about surviving under the circumstances, but finding new ways of thriving under the new circumstances.
Yeah.
Amazing. And how do organizations adapt, or how can organizations learn, and how can that be supported?
Yeah. Historically, there have been many levels of doing this. As for individuals, we can learn many ways. You screw up, and you learn.
Yeah.
You read a book, and you learn. And someone comes and tells you that, by the way, the facts are these, and you should behave accordingly. So you kind of take this view and start operating based on that. And of course, the major part of industrial life and the life of human organization has been based on this very straightforward, hierarchical and authoritarian way of kind of carving out the truth for everybody, and the processes that should be applied, and implementing those into brains and hearts and bodies.
So more about the compliance. And
into the human system, kind of make it fixed, so to speak. Yeah. And this is the Taylorism. This is the history of industrial revolution. This is still the way nations are led worldwide. And then we have these certain other ways that are based on the core capabilities of humans, which are always more messy, more difficult, require a lot out of the citizens or the individuals or the workers, especially for their soft skills.
Yeah.
And democracy is a very good example of this type of way of organizing human systems, which is based more on reflection and adaptation, kind of giving vapausasteet. What's vapausasteet in
Degrees of
English?
freedom.
Degrees of freedom, allowing the system to adapt, kind of self-organize and adapt. Not too much, of course, but according to the situation, to have a good balance of you should do like this, and then you should also find your own way of doing.
So it's kind of finding the right balance between giving kind of the straightforward and easy instructions, and also giving people the degrees of freedom, which come with more responsibilities and require way more self-reflection on the way.
Yes, yeah. And my experience of the past kind of 20 years that I've been working as an organizational psychologist and working with the learning processes, adaptation processes of individuals and teams, is that especially in environments like Finland, the happiest country in the world for the 9th time in a row, so we must be doing something right. So it seems to me that the direction that we are going to, it's because the world is more and more chaotic, and the world brings us unexpected things that we can not think ahead. And we need to tap on to the most powerful capabilities that we have as humans in order to be able to thrive and adapt. And it seems for me that this is the direction that we've been traveling to kind of recognize the importance of reflection and the key drivers of our adaptive capabilities in organizations and how it translates to leadership.
And given all the changes and all the transformations that we're going through right now, and in different organizations and in different businesses, people are probably quite, how would I say it, it raises a lot of thoughts on how can we help people to adapt, how can we support the adaptation in the organizational level, how can we help our people to adapt to the different situations and learn to thrive under the new circumstances when there's a lot of insecurities going on.
And exactly, and there are kind of two basic tendencies for humans to react to uncertainty, which I mean in many ways the kind of the direct opposites. There is this gut level reaction that we need more rules, we need more hierarchy, we need more authoritarian kind of approach so that we can make sense of the world. Somebody needs to come and tell me what is the truth, and I don't need to go into these deep processes of kind of learning to adapt myself and others. I don't want to go there. I want to know how things are.
I want to externalize.
Yes. And at the same time, we have this tendency to go towards the way of doing things that is maybe more difficult. It's a bit more messy. It's more unpredictable, but it gives us so much more in terms of what we humans truly need. And value. It gives us safety and trust and appreciation, and it gives us the kind of value that is humanly more valuable than the value that we get from not going there.
It's always a painful journey to go inside yourself
Yeah.
and do the self-reflection, even though it's rewarding and it's
Yeah.
amazing growth, but it comes with certain growth pains.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then you
well,
also
yeah.
have to take the responsibility of yourself and
Yeah, for
admit
sure.
that actually I have some power in this situation.
Yeah.
And it's in my hands
Yeah.
to take the actions.
Yeah, and organizations kind of resist in a certain way. They have this kind of this reflexive kind of as a reflex.
Reaction, yeah.
Yeah, kind of to resist this because it's a bit of a frightening thing maybe.
Yeah.
To kind of trust in more kind of human processes.
Yeah.
If you think of a typical kind of leadership team, they the most kind of the ways of seeing the world and seeing the truth, the most common ways in typical leadership teams are based on economic understanding and understanding controls and rules, kind of the legal aspects and how to organize things, and also about technology.
Yeah.
And what is very often missing is very deep human understanding. And when you introduce these core human
Yeah.
things into a group of people who have learned to thrive and control world
Yeah.
through understanding economics and processes and laws and things, it's a bit of a frightening idea for people to kind of rely on these types of processes. You know, let people reflect, let people learn soft skills so that they can use their brains and hearts and bodies at interaction situations and find new ways of adapting and developing their work together. It's a bit of a, you know, well,
it must be a little uncomfortable
yeah,
in many situations.
Yeah.
And it's also about giving people more freedom on taking the more control in themselves.
yeah.
And
Absolutely.
by taking control in themselves, they build the capabilities of taking more control of the environment.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Is it more like, because I'm thinking whether this is a polarity where one side is bad and one side is good, or is it more like finding the right balance? Because you have two types of people, and there are people who want to take more control, and there are people who want to take more proactive approach, and then there are people who wish someone to give the security of giving more boundaries. So
Yeah.
how do you balance this with these two different tendencies?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's there's this field of adult growing and adult learning psychology, which is about the study of how do we adults mature and grow psychologically across our lifespan. And there are many models there, but one thing that is maybe common to all models is that what we actually achieve when we grow psychologically is that we learn to see the world as filled with pluralities, as different ways of approaching a situation, and we learn ways of kind of having a dialogue together so that we can argue for different ways of looking at the world, and none of them is wrong or right, but we look at different approaches and according to the situation. So what could be the best possible solution right now out of many?
So we kind of become the active agents of the situation by being able to see lots of different scenarios and ways of operating instead of being under the victim of the circumstances.
Yeah, and sometimes the best solution is actually to simplify, to oversimplify, and tell to your people in your organization that we don't reflect anymore. because now we are in a situation where we need to do this, and we need to do it now.
So
and
you
please
kind of
execute.
need the both. Yeah. When the house is burning, you don't start reflecting.
Yeah.
You go out.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the trick is to, and this is, but there's this paradox. It's kind of loophole, because this is also based on reflection.
Yeah.
It's also based on reflective skills. So we sit down as an executive team, and we talk about different options and possibilities, and someone disagrees with me, so I need to be aware of the fact that I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
And I disagree, and I think that he's stupid, and his worldview is wrong, and he has these crazy values or whatever. And at the same time, I need to be in control and aware of my processes and what's going on, so that I can be part of the reflection and dialogue where we come up with the solution.
And learn to sit with your own emotions in the situation.
Yeah.
Wow. So when thinking about all these transformations we're going through right now, one of the big things that is happening is the AI.
Yeah.
Does AI change how we learn, or what is the impact of AI in this field?
Well, I don't think that unless we install chips in our bodies, these kind of the basic mechanisms of human body mind change. And this is true of all industrial revolutions. They change the world, they change the context, they change the environment, but they don't come under your skin.
Yeah.
They don't change the ways your amygdala or your autonomous nervous system or your parasympathetic nervous system is activated or not activated.
So what are the changes that come with AI?
Well, think of the first industrial revolution. We humans learned to harness the powers of energy and put them into machines, and it changed the world. It created industries and factories and machines, and it totally transformed the world around us.
Yeah.
And it changed our societies, it changed how we work, it changed family systems, it changed roles, it changed a lot of things around us. But still, when a bunch of people come together and sit down and start talking about their work, or their situation, the basic mechanisms that start happening around the bodies and minds and the hearts, they are still the same.
Yeah.
So AI doesn't change this, but it will change the world around us.
So what we have to adapt to.
Yeah, and then we need to adapt, and some people say that it's the biggest out of the four, so that it's the fastest and it's the biggest revolution, and it might change the world dramatically, but as a psychologist, we humans we are pretty much the same. Our brains and minds and bodies are pretty much the same that what they were 2 million years ago when Homo sapiens evolved. Actually, there are different views on how old the species we are. Very long time it was thought that we are maybe 300,000 years ago Homo sapiens evolved, but now there's some recent evidence that we might have been around for millions of years already.
Wow.
Who knows? But we are still the same.
And we still have in it us that we have the capabilities to adapt, even though the transformations would be big.
Yeah. Think about the baby. Think about the baby that was born 1 million years ago. And you could kind of put that baby in a time capsule and take that baby into this world. The two-day-old baby. no problem adapting to our world,
Yeah.
because it's what happens every day. New humans are born.
And this is a wonderful perspective of looking at things, and it really visualizes to you what is the capability of adapting and
Yeah.
thriving in new environments.
Yeah, yeah. And you could even take a 10-year-old from a million years ago and put him in a time capsule and bring here, and he would adapt.
Yeah.
Very soon he would have a mobile phone and
Go into social media and do stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And when you, I know you talk about a lot of, we've already kind of touched the topic of soft skills and hard skills,
Yeah.
and the differences between them. And I know that you have a lot of perspective on how the relation between these skills changes during the AI transformation. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, yeah. If you think of the hard skills of knowledge work, so we gather information and we analyze information and we produce reports and we use data to come up with processes and then we analyze data to come up with suggestions for approaches and maybe risk evaluations.
Yeah.
This is what has been a big part of knowledge work for decades, maybe hundreds of years. And AI seems to be really good at this. And this is where I see AI kind of taking over. It can do a lot of the cognitive work, the data crunching, the analysis, also the content production part. So that writing and composing and producing audiovisual material and kind of make versions very effectively, as many versions of a certain content as you wish. So this is what AI is very good at, it, and these are the traditional hard skills for knowledge workers. Lawyers, economists, engineers, humanists as well, kind of digging into the data and trying to figure it out. But then what AI is not able to do is to kind of come here with us, to be here with us and communicate with us and
building relationships and stuff like that.
And be a relevant agent for the human system as a counterpart in a dynamic, unfolding conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe one day there could be a cyborg. Maybe, or I don't know if you are already, but it would be as good as you are for our system to take it as a relevant agent in the things that we humans do when we do the human things.
Yeah.
And there are also these ideas that one day we don't need humans. But what would become of human life if there were no humans? I don't think that we want to live in that kind of a world where we don't have humans and we don't have humans to interact with. Because what is left of our humanness?
And in the work context, I think that many people are right now a little worried about, am I needed?
Yeah.
What is my purpose here? If an AI agent can take my job, and there are probably a lot of changes in different works. I believe that there will be a need for humans too, and not everything can be given for AI. But it raises the question of meaningfulness. So how can people find the sense of meaningfulness and feel important in the age when AI rapidly takes different jobs.
Yeah, yeah. I think there are two ways of looking at this. There's this the value of what humans do. So do we actually add value? Is this what we are doing?
Yeah.
Does this add value in the future? Is it valuable as such in the world that we humans engage in this dialogue and sense making and trying to figure out things in human ways and bonding and forming relationships and building trust and appreciation and safety and making maybe ethical decisions?
Yeah.
So is there value in this? Can we
Absolutely.
be in a world where none of this is needed and everything that is needed is based on data analysis? That's one question. So do we humans bring value? And the second one is that if we don't bring value, so are we still going to do that? Because we are humans.
So would you be kind of suggesting that with the AI transformation, as AI is taking more and more of the hard skill works, we are freed to respond more on the very human needs, on really relationship building trust, and responding to those things. So actually it can make the world more human in a sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that we, even though it wouldn't have any value, we would still be doing it because we are humans. And I also think that it adds value.
Yeah.
But when you think of it kind of theoretically as a kind of a, tick, 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 like this, then it's a valid question. So does it really add value? I think it's a valid question to ask. So in terms of pure value creation, are humans actually needed?
And that begs the question, what is value?
Of course.
Kind of I think that and I think that this is also a biological thing. So we find happiness when we contribute to the human community. That is just how we're built. And it would translate from that it is adding value when we contribute to the human existence and the experience of being here during the short period of time we exist.
Yeah, and it's also a question of economics. So is the value something that someone pays for? Because a lot of the value that is happening and created between humans is intrinsic value. It's not kind of instrumental value. It's not something that you can productize. It's something that we do. We build relationships. We want to feel warmth and empathy and trust and appreciation. And if you start monetizing that, it's kind of a very funny situation.
I actually have to challenge this a little because I think that, for example, if you look at marketing is mostly about building trust with the customers and building relationships with the customers, like sales also. And building products is about understanding what are the needs of the people and finding and building vehicles to transport that value. So I think that it's not necessarily fully black and white, but it's also a business is a translation from those very human needs and interactions into an organizational form of delivering value and also touching those very human tendencies we have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. It's just that taking this theoretical idea of creating all the value that we need, creating everything that we need to kind of the food and the warmth, that kind of Maslowian hierarchy, the lower,
Yeah.
the kind of bottom part.
If you look at from that perspective, things look very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, yeah. So is humans needed for that value production? That's the question.
Different question, yeah.
And then when we go upper in the hierarchy, so then we get this self-realization and relationships and trust and appreciation and safety and whatnot. So that's traditionally something that the society is doing, the communities that we build.
So do you feel that we are kind of climbing up in the hierarchy right now when we're gaining more
That's one way of looking at it. That's one way of looking at it, so that human labor is freed. This is what industrial revolutions have been doing all the time. Yeah. But that's a paradox also, because from mental health point of view, if you don't have nothing to do, if you are not needed, if you are just idling away, you will get anxious and depressed.
And how can, because there is, and this is a very, very important perspective.
Yeah.
So how can you, in organizational level, when there are all these changes happening, how can you support the feeling of meaningfulness in an organization when people know that there are a lot of changes happening and there might be changes in their job descriptions?
Yeah. Well, meaning of course comes out of the vision and mission and the purpose of the organization. That's a big part of it. And by the way, also one historical outcome of industrial revolutions is not that humans are less needed; they are more often more needed.
Yeah.
For example, the last one, the digitalization.
Yeah.
It just creates, we are more busy than ever.
Yeah.
So that might be actually the outcome of this one as well. But I've always, because I'm a psychologist, so I can look at things from the economy and technology and legal and process-oriented way of managing and leading organizations. That's when strategies and visions and goals and processes are very important. And that creates meaning.
Yeah.
And people are different. Some people are engaged and kind of attached to a well-honed kind of system that gives them kind of feeling of safety and this works and I come in and push my energy into this. Well,
I know that this works and it gives me satisfaction. People are very different. But in the deep core of meaning and human value, it's created together in interaction, so that I feel that I'm part of this community. I'm part. I have this good quality relation with other people, which translates to my feeling of my relation with myself and eventually with the world around me. So my purpose goes beyond my job description. And in the organization, I am contributing to this community that has a bigger mission and vision of the future.
And everything you said is translating into the way I feel about myself. What is my relationship with myself?
I'm not too attached to the function I'm doing, but more about the goals in the bigger picture. And also then relationship with the world around me. So a big problem, I think, for humans, for Homo sapiens, at this point of our journey through the space, is that that we are lost in everything external. We are lost in things that don't carry the type of value, the type of meaning that we in our core need. And we have this really twisted relationship with the world, with kind of with existence itself. Think of what we are doing to the planet. It's crazy. We are one of the species on Earth. We have this spaceship
And we are the crew, and we are not taking very good care of our ship. And this is somehow a bit of a twisted kind of relationship with life itself that we as a species have. So I think that the more we engage in activities that kind of nurture and develop our ability to build relationship with other people, it translates to the way we feel about ourselves, and that translates into the way we take care of the world.
The overall well-being.
Empathy, caring, love, these types of energies or abilities that we have as humans.
And thinking about this whole discussion and all the changes, but also all the capabilities that we have, which are amazing. And I love it that you're focusing so much on the inner strengths that people have. What are the things that we should be focusing on right now, or what leaders in different organizations should be focusing on right now?
Well, I think the human layer, kind of think of yourself and your organization and the system, not only in terms of numbers and processes and strategies and that way of looking at the world, but also, not instead, but also in terms of the human layer of the organization, of this life, of yourself, of other people, of everything around us. Kind of the human layer, the human system, how human systems operate, how they adapt, how they evolved, how people are aligned, so people's minds and hearts and bodies are aligned. How do you achieve that, really? How do you achieve that? And as we discussed before, there are many ways of achieving it. You can set out the rules and processes and be a leader, and or then you can, in addition to all that, you can go into the human layer. You can go into what's happening with people, and you can try to facilitate that kind of bottom-up adaptive capability of every individual and every organization.
So it's kind of, in addition of having the reflection on yourself, kind of reflecting the whole human layer in the organization and tapping into that adaptability and those capabilities. And that requires skills. It's something that you can be better in. Leaders traditionally, the first priority is to be, for example, a strategic leader, understand strategies, and then you need to understand the numbers, and then you need to be really effective, be a process-oriented leader, and then you need to be able to build the vision and mission and the values around. And after that, many are like, okay, the job is done, and now we implement. And then things go messy.
Yes. That's where the problems start. Because now you have created an idealized system, a world view or a company view, and then you try to take it and implement it into the human system, which has very different logic, very different ways of kind of behaving and operating.
So understanding the human operation system and how humans operate, and embedding that as one perspective to everything in line with the other angles of driving and supporting the organization.
Yes, and developing your professionalism in that as well, because it is a skill, it is a trade, it is a practice.
And something that you can become better and better at all the time. So it's something we can learn.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you should start with the closest human system you have, which is right here.
It starts with yourself.
Yeah, and the same kind of rules and the same strategies and the same messiness and the same uncertainty applies. But this is the practice field. This is the first, this is the tennis court you can go every morning into, or the gym. It's here.
And when you learn to operate yourself, you learn to operate the other, or in wider perspective as well.
Yeah. And learn to appreciate how the human layer operates and behaves. That's very often what I've seen with leaders who have gone through sometimes difficult, not always, but a learning process, a growth process with themselves. And that always requires going into the human layer in yourself and really being humble about it and really kind of acknowledging what it needs. And after you have done that, you learn to appreciate. You learn to kind of see its value, and you learn to kind of recognize that, okay, this is a thing.
And when you learn and see the strength and adaptability in yourself, it's easier to trust in the same skills and abilities in others as well.
Yeah. And also, very often I get this feeling after discussing these things that it maybe sound like very kind of difficult or somehow challenging. A lot of words.
But after all, it's very concrete.
It's really concrete. It's really simple. You don't need much words. You need things like presence and awareness, reflection, trust, appreciation, safety, empathy. Those are all things that we already have. We just need to,
unleash them.
Yeah. So it's at the same time it's really simple, and really, and you cannot think about it. That's also we don't grow. Organizations don't adapt through thinking processes. That's I think one of the most common mistakes that we overvalue. Thinking is important, cognition is important, but we overvalue thinking. We are problem solvers, but the human system is not a problem. It's an organism. You don't solve its problems. You nurture it. You facilitate. You kind of. It's like a garden. It's not the house that you build.
So from that perspective, the organizational growth happens via people growth. When people grow, they help the organization to grow.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what soft skills do to an organization. Yeah. It increases this adaptive capability, this adaptive IQ of an organization. The better people are in their soft skills. The more the whole thing has adaptive capability.
Super important. So upskilling the soft skills is really the key of organizational capabilities and adaptivity, and also the ability for people to thrive in their organization.
Yeah, and especially now that we are living the AI era, which kind of no one knows.
Yeah.
We can speculate a lot about what is left for humans and do we create value or not. And this is kind of, no one knows really. But what is really important right now is to accelerate the organization's ability to figure it out.
Yeah.
To kind of, whatever it brings, bring it on. We are ready to kind of,
We have it in us to be able to thrive in that environment.
Let's go, take it in, and we adapt, and let's see what comes out of it. And I think the most successful organizations, especially during this fourth industrial revolution, will be those who have the best adaptive capability, because they are the first ones who figure it out.
They figure it out, and then they have it, and they have the ability to do that.
Yeah, and whatever benefit it brings, those organizations will have the benefits.
Yeah.
They don't need to kind of know it before.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how capable humans are.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, yeah. And the world is full of possibilities, and you know, starting with yourself and being able to work your own processes and grow as a person and be able to contribute to this world and bring good things, what are really meaningful and valuable for humans. So it's wow.
So to sum it up, to summarize it all up, we have all the reasons to be positive about the future.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Ville.
Thank you. Thank you.